Well, it's I don't know, is it February already? End of January? Anyways, just out taking a look at stuff, right? Need to get out and get some walking. You know, I've got parts and junk everywhere, but so much of this has a story behind it. It's like, you know, if I kick the bucket or something, nobody's going to know what half this junk is, but it's like, I know all of it, right? It's like all these parts have stories. Like, for example, that's a Suburban door. Came up from up near Lincoln, Maine. There was a guy that had a four-wheel drive that I bought that probably back in 2003. And I've never used it because my door wasn't bad, but I was up there. And this hood came from Ohio. That's a 56 Oldsmobile hood. I had to drive that back. It's interesting. I was driving back with parts and I saw that. And so I rented a minivan to fit that in there. And it turns out that hood is so big, there was no way through any door I could fit that hood inside the minivan completely. I could get like the front 7/8 of it in there. So I drove from Ohio to Maine with the rear hatch open on the minivan with that hood hanging out the back. So interesting story anyways, I think anyways, at least for me. Of course, we got the 60 Cadillac here. This came from, where did it come from? China, Maine. It was when I was driving by, we were going to one of the fairs over there. I want to say Common Ground Fair. And I saw a guy had apparently passed away. He had like 100 Cadillacs at that place. Most of them were already sold. A lot of them sold overseas. This one was one that was under the house as opposed to the Cadillac barn. And it was all disassembled. I say all disassembled. All the trim was disassembled. The engine was seized. And so I put it all back together again, unseized the engine, and I've been driving this one pretty regularly. This past year I didn't because I'm reupholstering the seats, and that takes quite a long time. But this is a nifty car. It's in pretty good shape, and it's been a daily driver for me, except for this past year. So pretty cool. It's got the 390 in it. This one is a Fleetwood, which a lot of people don't know the difference between a DeVille and a Fleetwood, but at least in 1960, this Fleetwood had about the same trim as the Eldorado, which is a very, very distinct model as far as trim level. So this is a very high-end car. It should have a vinyl top on it and all the Eldorado low trim on it. And inside it's got basically every option that Cadillac offered. Cruise control, of course, air con, heat, and you name it. It has the automatic headlight dimming, 6-way power seat, of course, power windows, power door locks, power trunk, pretty much everything. That rear seat back is out of a different Cadillac. I had sent off some seats to a place in Texas that got raided by ICE, so I lost the rear seat portion, and I managed to find another one that's the exact same trim combination to mine. So there it is. I still haven't got it reupholstered yet, but I was very lucky because I have my front seat. I've got a bunch of other components, but the rear seat back, the rear seat bottom I still had, but that rear seat back, I managed to score another one. So I'm lucky I was able to find that. There's a grill to a truck that came from, I bought that in New Hampshire, actually. That was a guy that had bought some parts I was driving through. He bought from Arizona, and a bunch of these other pieces go along with it. Somewhere up in there. I can't always identify all the parts from my camera, but I know where most things is. This is a 70 Blazer over here, and I've been collecting parts. You can see some of there's that fender that was left over from the Longhorn. That one has a little bit of damage on it because I lost a wheel on it. Inner fender came from Oregon. The sled I made in the back there, I built that sled when I was in high school, that runner sled. On the back wall, there's the rear seat to a 53 Oldsmobile convertible. Convertible only seat spring, almost impossible to find. This 70 Blazer under here, I have basically every part that is needed to make this thing, good again. And well, that's 1956 Oldsmobile original NOS panels. I haven't used those yet either. What else have we? Oh, convertible top pieces. So these here, these convertible top racks up here, there's a whole bunch of them up there, pieces of convertible top. They're for this car right here. This is a 53 Super 88. And this is a combination of several cars. I had got a convertible out of the woods nearby, but this car here came out of Montana, and basically combining them to make a good convertible. The bulk of this car was a two-door hardtop, and combined it with a convertible that came from Cornville, Maine, out in the woods basket case. So nice old Schwinn bicycle. There's some more. There's some harness that came from Mom's old barn. And let's see, there's a door to a cab over truck, some cow stanchions. There's some sheet steel to on the back there, on the back wall, that's going to be for the Railroad Express, because it had camper windows in it. So I got sheet steel to weld those back in. In front of that's the 1936 Dodge door by this Schwinn bicycle here. So lots of bits and pieces around. I got endless amount. That's the original windshield frame to my Jeep. Endless number of these old truck rims, which are actually really hard to find. The old ones that aren't rusted out. The new ones are basically a lot wider. So finding original rims that are the narrow ones, like from the 1920s and 30s, that's what those are. So, and there's this pile of pieces here, of which a lot of this needs to get sorted out. The original hood to the Longhorn. And I got the Suburban over there. Behind this big snowbank, I've got, three actual 1953 Oldsmobile convertible Hulks. And those are to be used on that 53 Super 88 and the 68 Suburban under the covers of 56 Olds 98. And of course, Mr. Metro, the 1954 International Metro. 1950 Railway Express Agency truck. Right there, that's supposed to be green. That runs pretty good. It's got a 261 in it. The Metro runs. I've still got some electrical work to do to get the lights working on it, but it runs and drives. Brakes all work on it. All that's in good shape. Couple boats. The cab over is in the center behind the big snowbank. That one, the cab over came from New Hampshire, but I've worked with my dad. We got a whole bunch of parts from out west. I say Washington State, which is a little bit of a, I guess we had fun anyways. I don't know if he had as much fun as I had with it, working with him, but we basically got a whole bunch of pieces for it that were, because this one's pretty rusty, but we basically got a complete set of sheet metal. I couldn't transport the cab back, but then when I came from Kansas, I got that green cab in the back, came from Kansas, but I say new. They're not new, they're original. Good doors, fenders, grills, basically everything except the main part of the cab are in that pile back there. I've got a 261 out of a 1954 Chevy to go in this. I still have the original seized engine in this. I haven't done too much work with it, but I have pieces and parts like the Blazer. Then Anna's boat, which is also a little bit of a, don't buy boats, people. Then this is another Cornville convertible over here. This is a 1950 Dodge Wayfarer Roadster. And that's a total basket case with a bad frame. But I got the car behind it super cheap and threw some of the parts on, and then subsequently the Metro rolled away and did a little bit of damage to that front fender. You'll notice on the left side there, the headlight's broken. So anyways, that car is going to be like I did with the 53 88. I'm going to combine that with that the Gray Ghost or the 1950 Wayfarer business coupe. I'll combine the two so I have a convertible, like convertibles. And then this is one that I've been working on this winter somewhat. The problem is it's in the past month or so it's been too cold and too snowy, but I got the engine in it. This is a 36 Dodge tow truck, and it was fairly complete, but a lot of beat up parts and stuff. And when we drove out to California and bought the Suburban, I got both front fenders for it, and Oh, a bunch of wheels for it, rims. Remember I talked about the rims? I got those for it. I also got that driver's side door that's in the shed back there. I've replaced the windshield on it. I've recently found and haven't yet picked up a really good hood for this, and the correct headlight buckets, and some other minor pieces of running boards. The running boards on this are there, but they're worn and have holes in them, just worn through, not rusted. And then just a bunch of parts. So this has been one of those. I have as much fun finding the parts and collecting them up, but that will be, I really want this truck running. I wanted this engine in and running by the end of last Christmas break. I got the engine in, but the transmission was fighting me, and the weather turned very snowy too fast, so I didn't really get it in. In the back, that's just a junker with it, but it has a 292 that I need to pull out. As soon as I pull that 292 inline six, that one in the back's going to scrap. And then I've got a bunch of scrap waiting to go. Over there. Mom's Subaru's back there. May try to salvage that, but the Durango that burned up, there's a 50 Chrysler back there, a bunch of other parts, Nathan's Rambler there. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that. I have to at least move it because I can't leave it there, so we have to get it out of the way. But this doesn't include the trucks that I have down at Penobscot, but this kind of what's here. And oh yeah, just for grins over here, I have in my shed, there's certain types of people that like certain kinds of cars. This my old Jeep, which is up here, just coming into view here. This is a 42 Willys. I've had this forever. That's the 36 Dodge tow truck grill sitting on the hood. And I have most of the pieces to complete this Jeep. This one is running and driving now, so it needs brake work, but this one is running and driving. Behind it's the 1922 Dodge touring car. That one, I didn't get that out this past summer either because I've been busy, but that's a really fun car to just drive around. Unrestored, just fun to drive. So that's my junk pile for the most part. So just talking. Anyways, hope you have a good day.